I found the letter on my desk when I came home that night. It was placed carefully, centered like it wanted to be noticed. I almost ignored it until I saw the handwriting. It was mine. Not similar. Not familiar. Identical. The same slanted letters, the same uneven spacing, even the small ink smudge I always make near the bottom of the page. I stood there longer than I should have, trying to remember writing it. I couldn't. The letter began calmly, almost kindly. It mentioned my routine, my habits, things no stranger could know. Then it started describing my day, events that had already happened. Things I hadn't told anyone. My hands started shaking when I reached the warning. Asterisk, you're going to think this is a coincidence. You'll be wrong. Asterisk. I laughed nervously, trying to convince myself it was a prank. But the laugh died when I checked the final line. Asterisk. You're holding this letter at 9:41 p.m. Asterisk. I checked the clock. 9:41. That night, I barely slept. The next morning, another letter appeared, this one already open. It described what I would say, what I would think, even what mistakes I would make before I made them. And every prediction came true. Soon, the letters stopped warning me and started guiding me, telling me what to do, where to go, what to avoid. Ignoring them made things worse. Accidents. Lost time. Gaps in my memory. The last letter was waiting on my pillow. Asterisk, you don't need to write anymore. We've taken care of that. Asterisk. That's when I understood. The handwriting wasn't mine, because I wrote the letters. It was mine because I was being written. The letter didn't belong anywhere. That was the first thing that felt wrong. It wasn't mixed with bills or tossed carelessly. It was placed with intention, perfectly aligned with the edge of my desk, as if whoever left it wanted me to notice it immediately. I remember hesitating before touching it, a strange pressure building in my chest, like instinct was trying to warn me. When I picked it up, the paper felt older than it should have been. Slightly rough. Slightly warm. The handwriting stopped me cold. I traced a word with my finger, hoping to find some difference, some flaw that would prove it wasn't mine. There wasn't one. It mirrored me too well, every habit, every inconsistency. I tried to reason it away. Maybe I'd written it while tired. Maybe stress had erased the memory. But the deeper I read, the less believable that became. The letter knew me in a way memory alone couldn't explain. It knew the way I avoided mirrors when anxious. The way I reread messages before sending them. Things I'd never written down. By the time I finished reading, my room felt unfamiliar. Like I'd stepped into a version of my life, slightly out of sync. The idea that someone could replicate me this perfectly felt impossible. And yet, the proof was in my hands. That was the moment curiosity turned into fear. The second letter arrived before I could calm myself. This one didn't introduce itself. It continued, like a conversation already in progress. It described my morning before it ended. Told me what I would spill, what I would forget, who I would run into. I tested it. Small things at first. It never failed. Fear gave way to obsession. I reread the letters constantly, searching for loopholes, patterns, any sign of error. There were none. Each prediction landed with cruel precision. The future felt less like possibility and more like obligation. Soon, the letters stopped explaining and started directing. Do this. Avoid that. Trust this line. Ignore your instinct. When I followed them, things stayed calm. When I didn't, something went wrong. I started waiting for them. Depending on the letters felt wrong, but not listening felt dangerous. I noticed gaps in my memory, hours I couldn't account for. Tasks completed without recollection. Notes in my handwriting I didn't remember writing. The letters anticipated my resistance. They reassured me, told me it was normal, necessary. That's when I realized something terrifying. I wasn't choosing anymore. I stopped recognizing myself. Mirrors felt wrong. Conversations felt rehearsed. The letters didn't predict my thoughts anymore. They replaced them. When I tried to stop reading, the silence became unbearable. I needed them. That dependency was the trap. The final letter didn't predict anything. It thanked me. That's when the truth settled in. I wasn't the author. I was the draft. Every action, every thought refined and corrected. The letters didn't need me anymore. They had finished writing me. The letters stopped appearing. But I still feel guided. Still feel corrected. When I write now, the words arrive before the thought.
Smooth. Certain.
Final. And sometimes when I find a new page already filled, I don't read it, because I already know what it says.